So tell us a little bit about Pippa. How did Pippa come to you?
Pippa was found as a stray on someone's porch, and the finder attempted to find an owner for her, but no one came forward to claim her. So some neighbors decided they would take her in. And after they had had her for about a month, she began having epileptic seizures. And they found that that was a lot for them to handle. And so they thought for her best interest, they would surrender her to us. So she's been with us for about a month.
How have her seizures been going?
At first, it was really awful. She has some pretty horrific seizures, they call them cluster seizures, several in a row. But she is now on a daily medication twice a day and hasn't had a seizure since then.
Oh, that's great. So once she's adopted, if she stays on this medication?
We can't say for sure that she'll never have seizures again. The thing with seizures is that while we probably aren't going to find a cure, at least we can control them with the medication. So we would hope that she might not have more than a couple seizures in a year.
Wow.
Which I think most people could probably handle.
Yeah.
And she's worth it.
So Pippa's in your home now, so you're fostering
Yes,
Pippa?
she's my foster dog.
So
one of them.
With fostering, you have animals in your home, but you bring them in until they get better?
Yes, in my case, I tend to take on seniors or special needs animals, but right now we have a litter of puppies in a couple of homes, so those will be in those homes until they're old enough to be adopted. We just don't do puppies at my house. But yes, fostering it's wonderful.
So with Pippa, do you have other dogs in the home? Do you think she would get along with other dogs?
Yes, she's timid with other dogs. She's very, very people focused. So while she tolerates the other dogs, she would much rather be with people. So far from what we've seen, she's good with kids. We probably wouldn't recommend small children for her just because it would be too easy for a small child to accidentally hurt her. And she'll tolerate other dogs, so she could be with other dogs, but she would really like to be an only dog, spoiled rotten.
So what's she like in your home?
She's great. Even though she doesn't seem to have had much training, but she picked up on the potty training right away. I think one thing I found with fostering is a lot of the foster dogs who come in not potty trained just pick it up from the other dogs in the home. So she's doing really well with that. She uses potty pads. If she can't get outside, I tell her to go potty and she'll find a pad and use that.
Perfect. And how old is Pippa?
The vets estimate her to be around 2 years old.
So with Pippa, her care would just involve a couple of a medication twice a day.
Twice a day medication.
And grooming every once in a while?
Yes. And we don't know yet, we haven't taken her to a groomer, we don't know how she'll do with the groomer. She's pretty good with me messing with her feet and her ears and everything, so she'd probably be all right. One thing we are trying to avoid right now, while she's still on medical hold, seizures are often brought on by a lot of stress. So we're trying not to stress her out too much by throwing her into things like grooming and going to the vet and all of that.
So a great home for Pippa would be someone who's willing to be patient and
Yes.
take things slowly, expose her to different things at a very slow pace.
She is a little bit of a nervous dog. She doesn't like riding in the car, for instance, although she does better in a car seat because she's up high where she can see. But she's not crazy about being in the car. But she's pretty good about overcoming her fears. She just takes a little time to do it.
With you discussed that you foster some. Have you ever kept any of your foster dogs?
Yes, I have 2 foster fails. I have one little senior. She was 10 years old when she came to us. She was found abandoned in an RV trailer kind of thing. So I fell in love with her right away and decided to adopt her. She's now 13, and she's doing very well. And then I had another, Ruby was with us. She was found as a stray and became a Misty Eyes dog, and she was adopted. But then a few years later, she was found as a stray again. And when they contacted the owner refused to come and get her out of the shelter. So I fostered her, and then I thought, you know, I really don't want this dog to have to go through this all again, so I foster failed with her too. So she's with me. She's about 9 years old now.
Do you know about how many fosters you've had in your home?
I think the last time I counted, I've probably had like 57.
Wow.
Cats, kittens, dogs.
Yeah.
I've even done a few puppies. That's not my forte, but in a pinch, I've done a few puppies.
So do you find fostering to be rewarding or very complicated? Or?
It's not complicated at all. Misty Eyes takes care of everything. They provide all the supplies, the food, the medical, everything. Fosters just have to provide the home and the love.
Yeah.
We don't ask fosters to become trainers, but if they can work on, you know, some of the issues that a dog or a kitty might have, that's great. But yes, fostering is wonderful. Like, as much as I love this little girl, I can't wait for her to be well enough to go to her forever home.
Yeah.
Because I know that she would do better in an environment where there aren't so many dogs, and where she can be spoiled rotten. And then I'll have room to foster another one.
Exactly. So it's I'm sure sad when they leave, but it's bittersweet because you get to see them
yes.
join the family.
I call it an emotional roller coaster
Yeah.
because yes, you'll cry lots of times, but then also you're so happy for them.
Yeah.
And we've had some wonderful adoptions for especially some of our special needs cases.
Yeah.
We had a little one-eyed Shih Tzu, and a couple drove down from Michigan to adopt him as a companion for their little one-eyed Shih Tzu.
Oh.
Things like that. So it's fostering is the best.
Yeah.
And we always need more.